Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. What's up, people? Welcome back to Black Belt Beauty Radio. Happy Thanksgiving. Before I even get into this episode, I want to express my deepest gratitude for all of you who drop in and, take in these episodes, for all of you who have left me amazing reviews and have rated this podcast, and just in general, for all of you who have connected with me and given me feedback. It's so important to me, and it means more than I could ever say. So thank you with all of my heart. I am so looking forward to get down on this episode for you guys today. It's actually Thanksgiving Eve as I record this. And the energy feels like everyone's ready just to stop working for a moment and, enjoy some downtime, enjoy some time with loved ones, and just kind of chill out for a moment. It feels really good. I actually love the tone of energy that I'm feeling as I create this episode for you guys. And it inspires me to want to kind of get into just some layers of appreciation and also some, talk around the benefit and the power of slowing down, of, what I'm calling no action, which is when we are kind of pausing and reflecting and just being rather than doing. So I found this Instagram post that I had put out earlier this year that really amplifies that message. So I'm going to go ahead and read that, and then I'm going to kind of tease it apart, get deep with you guys, and then we'll figure out what comes after that. Okay, so the caption reads, "There's no denying how much I love movement. But one day, long ago, while in meditation, these words came to me that felt so powerful. Can you find action in no action? Can you trust that you're moving forward towards all that you envision for your life without doing more, and enjoy your moments of just being more?" My heart raced at the question. My mind expanded at the thought. The answer was so loudly moving through me. Yes, I can. When trust is your foundation, stillness is embraced with reverence. It's a vital piece to the process of creating, receiving, and achieving. I absolutely love living beautiful, expansive moments of pausing, slowing down, reflecting, wondering, and envisioning. Those quiet, still moments where I ask nothing of myself but to indulge in the simple richness of being, to breathe in the bliss of my presence and feel the energy of my oneness. If I was not able to offer myself those moments, I may never know myself as deeply as I do. I may never feel the strength in the visions I hold for my life as strongly as I do. I believe that both are required to actualize visions, especially when doing so from being your authentic self. But above that, to be able to sit with myself with no destination in mind, but to simply enjoy exploring the deep, authentic presence of my being, is to know what it truly feels to be alive, a feeling I am absolutely in love with, a feeling I never take for granted, a feeling that allows me to be my fullest, highest self and share that version of me with the world. Embrace those moments that allow you to dive deep, to have zero intention but to observe and not to judge, to indulge in the sensation of simply being present. It's the purest form of freedom. It's time never wasted, especially when you know you're worth it. Oh, that's so yummy. Book coming soon, you guys. Oh, that's going to be a fun project. Yeah, so I'm going to start at the bottom and then maneuver around a bit. But one of my favorite lines is, it's the purest form of freedom. Simply being present is the purest form of freedom. And, the reason why I love that so much is because to me, it is the absolute truth. So, I think we can all relate to, times where we're projecting too far forward, or we're kind of replaying things from the past. And so often when we do that, we invite, feelings of tension, of unease, of, maybe fear or worry or just overall stress, like shackles over us, weight. Versus when we do connect with moments of being very present. And, sometimes we can find ourselves in those moments through meditation, through, certain kind of training. I mean, I feel it when I'm surfing, even training jujitsu. It's like if I'm not fully present, mind and body, something bad can happen. I can hurt somebody, I can get hurt. So there's different ways to get into a state of presence. Sometimes I find that just, sitting with myself, and I talk about that a bit in the caption, but just, being comfortable sitting with myself and just enjoying the presence of my being, allowing my mind, to wander, to reflect, to wonder, to envision. I purposely, used the word expansive in front of those states because, we can look at pausing and slowing and reflecting, all that stuff, and we can feel like, oh, we're not doing anything, right? It's like we're not moving the needle forward. It's almost like it's not an action. But the truth is, it's absolutely so expansive to invite those kind of moments into ourself, into our mind, into our process. And actually, I find that it's quite necessary to move the needle forward, to live in these moments and not just be in a state of doing. It's interesting, I think, because, our country, being in America, we kind of have this, I don't know, it's like this, there's a message that basically says, if you're not working 8 days a week and from the moment you wake up to the minute you go to sleep, you're not going to be successful in life. It sounds dramatic because it is, and I don't think it's true. In fact, then we can get into, if we want to, pick apart what does success even mean. I mean, there's a lot of people who have done that or are doing that and they're fucking burned out. And then there's some issue, with health or, something's got to give at some point if we don't breathe in space. So years ago, I heard that Horace Gracie said something, and these words just stuck with me. They're so golden. He said, resting is training. Resting is training. And it's just absolutely perfect because it's true. And listen, I'm a woman of action. I absolutely love progress, right? I love to feel progression. And I think even, when you add a layer of being an entrepreneur where so much of the results of your business comes down to your output, right? It makes it even more, the feeling of action more intense, okay, I have to do this, I got to do that, right? And I have high standards in my life. So, and I want to exceed them, constantly, turn best into better, right? So, all of that can make me be, in a constant state of doing, in a constant state of kind of busy action, right? And so I think that when these words came to me in meditation, and the questions, can you find action and no action? Can you trust that you're moving forward towards all that you envision for your life without doing more and just enjoy moments of being more? I mean, those are fucking powerful questions, and it's interesting when the question, can you trust that you're moving forward, popped into my mind. Man, that's like, I felt like it was such a bottom line, situation where I'm like, whoa, like if you say no, then you are basically signing up, with this, you're signing up to this idea that the only way you're going to succeed and move forward and actualize these things that you want in your life is if you're just, grinding all the time. And, personally, I don't believe that that is the way. It's not what I want anyways. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, talk about, feeling good and a life of health. And then meanwhile, behind the scenes, I'm fucking struggling because I'm like burned out and I'm just grinding myself to the fucking, to bones. I don't know, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, so yeah, that question was so powerful. Can you trust that you're moving forward? And it's a beautiful question. And it was a beautiful feeling to feel my answer. So, I mean, that's why, I wrote it kind of poetically. My heart raced at the question. My mind expanded at the thought. Yes, I can. And it's just something I think that we need to be, hearing more of from people is that, it's this dance, there are times where I think the sprint is absolutely necessary. The heavy lifting is absolutely necessary. And then there are the times when just stillness is necessary. I know I've said this in another podcast before, but it's just so perfect. I can't say it now in the example that, that is like when I train all my different modalities, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm like, yes, I'm training when I lift weights, I'm training for strength and, growth, but I'm training for that strength for my life because there are times where I got to do a lot of heavy lifting and I need to know that I can. And there are times where, when I do like high intensity interval training and I got to push and there's no stopping. So that's essentially like a sprint, or sometimes I actually do sprints. And, I use that stuff to carry it into my process in my life in this pursuit that I'm on. But what I also make sure I do when it comes to training is, I do invite yoga as a constant throughout my week, which allows me to be more in a state of flow, more in a state where I'm connected to, my breath. And it's certain yoga for me. Yes, there is a challenge, but it is like, it's an active rest, or I'm moving my body and I don't know. I love yoga, man. It's deep for me, and I can transfer that into my life and into my process where there are times where it's not about the gas pedal being pushed all the way down. It's about, just moving with ease, being in a state of flow and just breathing straight up, So, I mean, I think these reminders are so powerful. They are for me, you guys, because like I said at the very start of the caption, there's no denying how much I love movement. I love movement. I love action. Like I said, I am addicted to progress. But here's the thing. Sometimes the most progressive action we can take is what I'm calling no action, the pausing, the slowing, the reflecting, the wondering, the envisioning. I mean, and also it's kind of like when you get to absorb things in a very, sometimes, okay, this is going to be a fun example. When you're cooking and the food's too hot, like it's done, it's cooked, right? And you got to let it sit for a little bit, right? And that's when all the flavor starts to come alive in the food, right? Like if you eat it while it's too hot, all you're going to taste is like heat, right? You don't get the flavor. But when you let it just sit and soak in, like just settle, Settle. That's the word. Just let it settle for a moment. Then it relaxes and all those flavors come out. And even in training, we can use that as an example as well. It's those recovery days, those rest days where, the muscles actually grow, and then all the, the benefits of activity that was done can actually manifest into the body. So it's so important to honor these moments. And, I love, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because for a few reasons. I mean, it incorporates two of my most favorite things in the world, my family and, really yummy food. But also I think that I just like to feel, people, there's an energetic state that I think can be felt by all of us. I mean, I certainly feel it where, first of all, people are more consciously aware of what they're grateful for. There's more gratitude in a conscious sense that's happening as a whole, right, in our country. And then I also just love feeling the energy of ease. It's where people actually feel like they are allowed to pause and to slow down, and we can all feel it. Sundays are like that for me too. You wake up and Sunday has a very unique energy. It feels very different on a Monday morning when you wake up, right? It has nothing to do with your action yet. It's literally in the air. Or maybe I'm the only one who feels that. I doubt that. That was a joke. So yeah, you guys, I wanted to share this Instagram post because I really love those words. And I think that right now they really resonate with me. And so hopefully they resonate with you, and in a way where, it just can, they breathe space into your mind and into your heart and make you also feel like you have, permission, not just permission to relax, but it's money in the bank too, right? It's money in the bank. This stuff is so important for us to do. Just as much as the other stuff, the busy stuff, the heavy lifting stuff, the sprinting, all that, so important. And, yeah, man, aside from that, I mean, just to kind of talk about appreciation. I know I've done a whole episode about the power of appreciation, but it's just, with it being Thanksgiving, and listen, I love being in a state of appreciation. I love taking time to literally get into the nuances and details of what I am grateful for in my life. And I don't just keep it in my head. I actually write these things out every single morning in my journal. It feels good to me. It feels good because it's an actual energy. Appreciation and gratitude, feeling grateful is an energy. So, and it's pretty magical, for lack of a better word, even though that's a great word. Another word could be it feels like medicine sometimes. If you ever find yourself in a state where you're not feeling that stoked, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're sad, maybe you feel like, you're kind of hanging out in an area of lack in your mind. The minute you start pointing your focus towards the things that you have, I'm talking about whether it's focusing on, I have vision, I can see with my eyes, right? I'm healthy, I'm strong, there's a roof over my head, I have people in my life that love me, I'm full, I just had an amazing dinner. I mean, all of it, whether it's the small little details to the big giant things like my business made so much money this year, or whatever it is, the minute we start looking in that direction and really getting down on the details of what we're grateful for, I swear to me, it's I'm instantly, I feel wealth inside of myself. The mind is just elevated. And, I think if my mind is feeling this way, if my heart feels full, then probably all the cells in my body are gaining from this too, right? Because we are a system of systems, right? Everything connects to everything inside of us. So that's why I feel like it actually is medicine. So, I'm going to sign out of this episode and just plant that little reminder out to you guys right now that if you haven't taken time to just, whether it's in your mind or writing it down. I'm always going to be a fan of writing because I feel like you just get a deeper connection when you're actually handwriting things out. If you haven't expressed things that you're grateful for in your life yet, I want to encourage you right now to take some time to do it. I love starting my day with it. And I also love when I'm laying in bed at night, my mind's like wandering. It's so fun. Like I catch it. I feel like a fisherman. It's really funny. Like I'll be laying there and I'll be like, kind of random thoughts. I'll be like, whoa, where are you? Oh, okay, cool. This is your opportunity right now to, think about the things that fill you up. And that's how I love, that's one of the ways I love putting myself to bed at night. It's just really relaxing. And it's like medicine. So I'm encouraging you all to, take some time for yourself, to pause, to reflect, to wonder, let the inspiration that is waiting to come into your mind enter your mind. And that happens when we are kind of just in a settled, relaxed state, right? Where we feel ease. And also take some time to, take note of the things that you are very grateful for in your life. Because I'm sure there's always so many things that we can, really take in with gratitude. So, aside from that, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, I appreciate each and every one of you who take the time to listen to these episodes and, to share your feedback with me and connect with me. It means the world to me. So you guys, I love you. Happy Thanksgiving. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, RoxyLook. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And last but not least, if you are interested in starting your own podcast, or perhaps you already have one and you need help with, editing your audio and the production of it, I cannot recommend my producers enough. Resonate Recordings, you guys, they are the bomb. I rely on them. They are an absolute supportive tool to me and my podcast. So check them out and let them know that Black Belt Beauty sent you. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.